You know, kids tend to attach to mom and dad at different times in their life, and I think as Jack was hitting adolescence, he was pretty attached to me. He was just a loving child, very compassionate. He was an empath, and he always gave to others before himself. Yeah, so I was a lucky man. Rick Padilla, Denver, born and raised. I have 2 sons and a wife. Been married for 30 years. We lost our younger son, Jack, on February 14th of this year. He died by suicide. So we talked about it as a family and said, you know, we want to make a difference and save some lives, so we got to share our story. Jack was a freshman at Cherry Creek High School. Handsome kid, he was a baby model. Lacrosse player for 10 years, arguably the best one in his age group at goalie. He played with teams all over the state. But what I've also learned is that kids like Jack, they mask it very well. Jack would come in this room and the biggest smile, very engaging, very outgoing. Everybody liked him. He was a fun-loving kid, very smart, but they mask it really well. Summer of 2018, he texted me and said, you know, Dad, I need to talk to you. I said, okay, let's talk. And he sent me a very long text that he was suffering from depression. And so, of course, we took immediate action. We got him into therapy. And one of the things that I've learned along this journey is that what we thought were typical adolescent behaviors, isolation in their bedroom, changing friend groups, loss of appetite. Today, I can tell you, I would see those signs differently. Would our approach have been different? I don't know, but I would have seen them not just as typical adolescent behaviors. And I think the other side of it is the cyberbullying stuff, some of the stuff that we read. And we didn't learn about it until after he passed and we cracked his phone. We were able to crack his phone. And some of the text messaging in there was disgusting, was hurtful. It was horrible stuff. But Jack never told anybody. He always internalized stuff. You know, am I saying that was why Jack did that? I think it was a contributing factor. Fast forward a couple of weeks later, a bunch of his friends came after services and said, we're pretty angry right now. And they came up with, which I still have, about 15 items of things they wanted to accomplish in Jack's name. And they wanted the Jack Strong name. We came up with that. They wanted a bench dedicated to Jack. So there's a bench with a beautiful plaque and a tree dedicated to Jack. These guys all said, let's do a lacrosse team. So we put together Jack Strong. We played in the Denver Lacrosse Club League. We testified, some of us testified on House Bill 1911-20 at the legislature. Treatment should be an option, not suicide. We're at the Ralph Carr Judicial Building, the launch of campaign public service announcements, Teen to Teen.
Do you know me? I may sit next to you in class. I'm struggling with depression, anxiety, loneliness, suicidal thoughts.
They're the voice that our kids don't have.
If I'm talking about suicide or death.
If I stop sleeping or sleep all the time.
If I change.
If I isolate myself.
If I start giving things away. As much as I fight about it, make me talk about it.
Don't let me get away with it.
I'm done seeing people in pain from suicide, and I'm done feeling pain from suicide. I jumped to the opportunity to try to make sure that no one else has to feel the pain that I've gone through or feel the pain that Jack has gone through.
In 2017, for example, we had 98 10 to 24-year-olds in the state of Colorado that died by suicide. And if you had a mass shooting with 98 kids that had been killed, it would be all over the media across the world. We need to elevate the conversation. It's a serious issue. It is an epidemic in our city, our state, and our country. I think it's we as adults have stigmatized mental health. Young people don't. This generation, they do not. They talk about I'm in therapy or if you need help. That's why they're powerful. It's young people saying, it's okay.
Take a deep breath.
Don't judge me.
Ask me point blank. Are you thinking about suicide? It doesn't hurt to ask this scary question. In fact, it helps.
No matter how old you are, no matter what you are dealing with, it's always worth it to speak up.
I'm a father. I can think of no other way to approach it. And I get my strength from thinking about leaving a legacy for Jack and all these other kids that have died by suicide and to prevent the next one.
If it's urgent and immediate help is needed, call Safe to Tell at 1-877-542-7233.
This is our moment in time as a community to do something about this.